the third quarter, they've really run out of steam. They don't play a whole lot of players, the Mexican team. They've got about 4 players they rely on that play big minutes, and this is the 5th game in 6 days.
Cruz, a user-friendly roll, opens the account for Mexico. It took 90 seconds.
16 points a game for Cruz. He's had a solid tournament.
And in their 3 games so far, Mexico have had 3 different scorers. That gives you an indication of the multi-purpose offense they have. Shot clock at 7, and again, Australia, not a lot happening for them at the offensive end. Broekhoff, down low, Baines, kicks outside. Dellavedova must fire. Looks short, is short. And now it's Jorge Gutierrez. Back to the top of the key. Aon puts it on the floor, takes on Baines, goes to work, overcooked it from close range. Ingles for Broekhoff. Now Baines got a good seal on his opponent, and Gustavo Aon goes to hack, gets value for money with that foul. Has been foul prone so far in the tournament, Aon.
And a good strategy. Why wouldn't you go hard after seeing Aaron Baines yesterday? Good foul, but he started off extremely well in this tournament, Aaron Baines. Big numbers so far, really stamping himself as one of the premier big men in this World Cup.
Well, he's top 15 in scoring and rebounding amongst the 24 teams, so he's had a dynamite start. Good to see there was no reaction to the hard foul as well after he seemed to be on the angry pills yesterday.
This is where Australia needs to get up. You see a little bit of a 2-2-1 press. They don't want to play in the half court, Australia, in offense, and you see penetrating defense. The Mexicans were prepared for it. And they've got the ability, Mexico, to be able to try and play quick in transition, beat the extended defense, but also pull it out and play a disciplined style as well.
Baines almost lost the handle, pushes Aon over. Now he's called for the offensive foul. Second team foul on Australia. Mexico have committed 1 so far.
Well, good defense.
Well, just inviting trouble by being so physical. But having said that, I think we're both of the opinion that the umpires, the referees, have really let things go so far. That seems to be the way they're calling games.
You know, I think the refereeing's been good overall.
Francisco Cruz against Broekhoff. Now Aon, top of the key. Beyond his range. Now Hernandez, who is dangerous from beyond the perimeter. Jorge Gutierrez against Dellavedova. Shot clock to 3. Looks for the penetration. Can't finish it. Good D from Dellavedova. Ingles for Baines. This time working on Hector Hernandez. Left-handed hook shot wouldn't work. Well batted out of court. Appeared to be last touched by Hector Hernandez. Australia will get possession. Quick substitution. Adam Gibson into the game. Obviously, Andre Lamanis just wants to change things up here. Dellavedova gets a rest.
I think Andre Lamanis has done a good job with his subbing. If you're going to play with the intensity defensively, you're going to have to use your players. And see a great slip. Good pass from Joe Ingles. Ingles has been impressive.
Not as impressive as Baines. He has all 6 of Australia's points so far. Great pass from Ingles, who led Australia in assists in the win against Lithuania. Aon hands over. We lost the handle on the ball there, Francisco Cruz. Foul is being called now on Cruz.
Good activity from Dave Anderson on that pick and roll. You see there, he stunted. Got a hand, he got a piece of that ball. Gave Adam Gibson the opportunity to be able to run. Brad Newley into the game now. He's had a good tournament too, Brad Newley. This is the sort of game where I feel like he can have a real impact as well. There'll be a lot of transition. Had a really good defensive influence for the Boomers as well.
Cam Bairstow about to check in for the Boomers as well. Here's Baines. He's giving them all sorts of problems at the moment. They can't contain him. Well, again, Aon going hard with the foul. Got plenty of ball. May have been the body. But certainly now with his second personal foul, their key player, who has been foul prone, has got some problems. Baines is all over him.
Yeah, and as we spoke about, they just don't have a lot of depth, the Mexicans. And the coach now, talking to his assistants, you have to think that he's looking at subbing his star player out. First 4 minutes into the game, 2 fouls. Dangerous to leave him out here right now, especially against Aaron Baines, who's playing such an aggressive style of basketball. And the Australians have done a good job going into him at the start of games as well. That puts pressure on these opposing big guys.
4-point lead for Australia. We've played a tick over 4 minutes here in Gran Canaria. Boomers haven't won 3 consecutive games at a World Cup in 16 years, but that's in the offing here in this game. Shot clock at 5. Aon goes to work with a left hand, and off the window comes up with the finish.
He's certainly a smooth big man. Plays for the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA. Averaged 4 points this year.
Gibson, baseline. Oh, good job with the finish as he held off Jorge Gutierrez.
Good aggressive play from Adam Gibson too. Hasn't really looked at the basket too much in this tournament. Explored a little bit on that occasion, and good finish.
Aon shut down. Good help D from Ingles then. Hernandez goes to work, takes the bump, draws a foul on Cam Bairstow. Invariably when he's come into the game, he's picked up an early foul. It's a habit that he'd like to shake.
He did a good job there though, Cam Bairstow. He had to close out hard on Hernandez, who hit 6 threes yesterday, 6 from 10 in their game yesterday. He's only taken 3 two-point shots, so the scouting report was perfect. Closed him out hard, made him put it on the floor. And for a man who made 6 from 10 from the three-point line, that was a poor free throw.
Shooting the ball at 50% from the field though, Hernandez.
12 points a game. 6'8" power forward.
Gibson, lob pass for Baines, close to the hoop. Oh, he did well to manufacture a shot, caught deep there. Slint back off the window, adds another 2. He has 10 of Australia's 12. He's outscoring Mexico single-handedly at the moment.
Great pass from Gibson though, and another deflection from Gibson.
Going in confidence, looks for the penetration to the baseline. Not a lot on offer. Guarded by Aon in a mismatch. Whistle off the ball, and that was going to be called on Jorge Gutierrez, who was caught in the mismatch there against Bairstow.
And see Adam Gibson calling for Aaron Baines to flash. There was a mismatch in the post, and Baines really needed to get to the free throw line to be able to look at the high-low. Didn't happen. But the big outback Shaq. What a game Nate Jawai played yesterday. Real impact, real important role too in that win over Lithuania. And also Dante Exum didn't play a lot of court time yesterday, but another good opportunity for him to gain valuable experience and confidence.
Mexico have committed 4 fouls here in the first 5.5 minutes. They can't afford to foul again, or we're off to the free throw line. So Australia's bench on the floor inside 5 minutes. Newley quickly to the hoop, knifes his way in to come up with the 2.
Good finish from Newley, but again, you see the big fella, he's playing with such poise. He's made assists every game that he's played. Wasn't in a hurry to be able to get rid of that ball, and gave Brad Newley the opportunity to be able to get back door and finish with an easy one.
Cam Bairstow picks up his 2nd personal. And it looks like we're going to see Brock Motum. That certainly wasn't on the agenda for Andre Lemanis. Bairstow picking up a couple of quick fouls.
That's the advantage Australia have. They go deep into the bench, particularly in that position with Motum and Bairstow.
Parada also into the game for Mexico. Didn't do his teammate any favours there. The handoff wasn't good, and Paul Stoll called for an over and back violation. Let's credit Australia's D.
And in particular, Adam Gibson. He's had a real impact in this game so far. He's only been on for a couple of minutes, but his defensive intensity has been critical.
Mexico wanting to get Jorge Gutierrez back into the game. Francisco Cruz will sit down. And Motum checks in. So Exum Gibson, now Motum. Here's the big man, Nate Jawai. We're going to speak with him at halftime. Stick around for that interview. Paul Stoll for Mexico. Hernandez knocked down. No whistle forthcoming. And there's Jawai getting involved as well. Just called for the foul against Adam Parada. And Shane, there's been a lot of conjecture about Outback Shaq and whether or not Nate Jawai's happy with that, but we spoke with him and tried to get the definitive answer on it, and he said he had a problem with it some time ago, but being compared to one of the greatest big men of all time in basketball, he said, that's fine with me. I said, so you're okay if we go run with it? He said, do what you want. So Outback Shaq it is.
I think he should own it. I reckon it's a great name.
You're going to copyright and all. He spoke very well during the interview that you conducted with him. He really, since he burst onto the scene in the NBL, in his rookie year, he was in the All-Star MVP.
Oh, he's had an exceptional career. Played with Barcelona, and last year was in Turkey before he had some health problems. Going back there again next year.
Here's Motum. Appeared to be inconvenienced by Parada. It went unwhistled. Jawai, just stepped around Parada off the glass, manufactures the shot for his first points in the game.
He really downplayed where he's at the moment. I really think he's got so much more upside for this Boomers team. You see the extra work that he's been doing with Luke Longley. What an opportunity to be able to work with one of Australia's greatest ever players for a big man like Nate Jawai.
Parada having to play extended minutes with Aon in foul trouble. Dishes outside. Paul Stoll, 2 on the shot clock. Needs to get busy. Baseline. Away. 2-point attempt. Nice finish nonetheless. Bailed out right with the shot clock expiring. Here's Exum. Jawai. Looks the muscle is weighing a little closer. Use of the elbow. Offensive foul has been called on Nate Jawai.
Good aggressive move.
Well, he's allowed to try and create a shot for himself.
You would have thought so. See Australia now with this full court 2-2-1 press again. We've got the mobility and the length. Some athletes on that front line. And it's not always to try and get steals out of this, as Mexico have the ability to be able to go whack with a 3. Hernandez, the man we spoke about before, 6 out of 10 yesterday from the 3-point line. You can see why.
Motum gets it from Exum. Hands over to Gibson. Little over 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. Here's Newley in the baseline. Now Exum penetrating. Newley the open man. Got a good look at it. Splashes the triple.
Great find from Dante Exum. Went and explored into the paint. Good poise to be able to find Brad Newley for the open 3-point shot.
First connection from downtown for the Boomers. They lead the tournament in 3-point shooting at 51%, and not many people would have predicted that. This is Orlando Mendez, top of the key. 5 on the shot clock. They go to Parada again, and he's equal to the challenge. Too big, too strong for Newley. And Newley comes back hard the other way. Double team. Needs help. Gibson. Dante Exum for Motum down low. He bounced into Parada and lost control of the ball. Gutierrez can't finish it. Exum taps it to the advantage of Newley. And now a foul called on Paul Stoll. Thought there was one. Should have been called on himself. But will walk to the other end of the floor here for free throws. Both teams in the bonus with 93 seconds left to play in this first quarter.
As we spoke about in the first quarter, Mexico will take the transition when it's there. They're aggressive, and they've got the players that can put the ball in the hole, but they're also willing to be able to pull it out, get some ball movement, and try and play with a little bit of structure and purpose as well.
Coming into this game, Brad Newley 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Only Baines and Anderson get there more. And good to see a healthy contingent of Australian fans here in the house tonight. Anderson and Gutierrez tangled, and Anderson didn't appreciate it. Here's Paul Stoll, harassed a long way from the hoop by Exum. Jorge Gutierrez, hands over. This is Orlando Mendez. Shot clock rolls to 5. Hector Hernandez stripped of it. Dellavedova got a piece of the action. Newley goes to work, draws a foul on Orlando Mendez. He's going back to the free throw line.
And that's a good foul, considering Brad Newley has just missed his last 2 free throws. Real confidence player, Newley, particularly when you're talking about his 3-point shot or from the free throw line. Certainly capable from both spots, but tends to go through periods where he will overthink the situation.
He's been good off the bench, provided a spark for Australia in 2 of the 3 completed games. He's been in double figures.
Oh, he's had a great tournament. With so much experience now, playing for so many years here in Europe.
And the only player at his 3rd World Championship for Australia. He's off to the bench. Ingles comes back for the last 68 seconds. He'll be looking to insert himself into the game, I think, Joe Ingles. They couldn't find him early. Hasn't taken a shot in the game.
He's been exceptional too, shooting the ball at 63% from the 3-point line, Ingles.
This is Mendez elevating, knocking down the jumper. They've worked their way back into the equation after they trail by as many as 7. Anderson, he fires the 3. Can't complete it. Jorge Gutierrez the rebound. Paul Stoll wanted it quickly, but Gutierrez wants to show them some tricks, and that was worth waiting for. Off the window, he adds 2. Mexico back to within a single point.
Great move. Faked that he was coming off. Split the pick and roll defense as Joe Ingles is getting into it down low here.
Shot clock 4 seconds inside the game clock, and now with single numbers for Australia to get one up. Dellavedova, Exum, shakes the big man, feeds Anderson, wants to go to work, he's fouled. Right with the shot clock about to expire, the Mexican team don't like the call. Coach is going Beresk in front of us. Now getting an explanation. Sergio Valleolmilos. Advice from the fans as well. Not sure if you can pick that up in our microphones, but advising the referees that let them play. We didn't come here to see you referee.
And he did that without a microphone, by the way.
Modem ready to come into the game. Anderson peels off another. Australia 7 of 10 from the free throw line here against 2 of 4 from Mexico in the opening period. In a high quality affair, both teams above 58% from the field. Paul Stoll with the ball carrying duties against Exum. Ingles joins in. They shut him down, forced him into a tough one. He drops it on the buzzer. And it's going to count.
I think they're going to have a look at it, aren't they? I'm not sure that... Have they counted it?
Here it is in replay. He got it off in time.
No. He's still got it in his hands, Case. So you see at the top of the screen, it's red. That square outlining the shot clock. So it's gone. It doesn't count.
One scoreboard inside here reads 22-19 Australia. The other scoreboard reads 22 apiece. So we'll get confirmation of that for you. But what a flourish to finish. They were down by as many as 7 in the first quarter, Mexico. And no matter whether they count this basket or not, it's certainly a good fight back for them. It's waved off. Waved away. So it's Australia 22, lead Mexico 19 at the end of 1.
You see it there. They're replaying it for us now. Well and truly after that shot clock had expired. Good camera angles from the Fever broadcaster here.
Well, as we expected, Shane, a high-quality affair. And a lot for Australia to work with. They're able to get minutes into a lot of players. And looking at these stats, look at the shooting percentages there. That's terrific.
Yeah, it is. Both teams, as you called, Case, 7 from 11, 64% versus 67. Australia dominating on the boards and also on the assists. 3 steals. Australia have been great at being able to turn up the tempo in that regard. And 4 turnovers apiece. Pretty even with the fouls. And Australia did a good job from the start. Really got that defensive intensity going. But when I spoke to Luke Longley before the game, he thought that this was going to be close for the first half, and the whole strategy was about keeping this intensity up and really trying to wear down the Mexicans for the second half, because they just don't have the same depth. You see that pass, bullet pass from Joe Ingles.
Turnovers 4 apiece. Rebound count 7-4 Australia's way. As we suspected, a very impressive opening to the game.
Good mindset from the Australian guards too, going inside. You see Gibson with a couple of assists there. Great shot on the buzzer by the young Mexican.
Mexico with a possession arrow to get us underway, term number 2. Jorge Gutierrez just bounces off Dellavedova. Now he gets it back from Orlando Mendez from close range. Adds another 2. It's a single point of difference.
They're certainly not intimidated, the Mexicans, with the Australian defence. You have to think that the Aussies caught Lithuania a little bit off guard with the extended pressure, and we see Ryan Broekhoff, that's his game. Not on that occasion.
Paul Stoll flies his trade in Turkey, the 28-year-old. Brings Mexico back up the floor. Jorge Gutierrez on Broekhoff. Behind the back, Hernandez. They swing it around the perimeter, now inside with 9 on the shot clock. Parada, step back, puts Mexico in front for the first time in the game. Dellavedova for Anderson. Looking to get Ingles involved in the offense. Has a mismatch down low against Mendez. Baines couldn't find a passing lane, so muscled his way to the hoop, but can't finish it.
Australia haven't been as fluent in the half-court sets as what they have in transition, so you would expect them to get up the floor a little bit more, try and get this tempo of this game a little bit going in their favour, and try and get their transition game going.
Good ball movement, but they've now got 4 on the shot clock. Stoll well beyond the 3-point line, still overcooked it. Dellavedova with Anderson in support. Broekhoff joining in. They get it down low. Now the open man, top of the key. Dellavedova drills the 3.
Great ball movement by the Aussies. Again in transition. Broekhoff could have taken that shot in transition. Got it into Dave Anderson, and a good find out for Dellavedova.
Took a little over 90 seconds to get the Boomers on the scoreboard here in the second. Orlando Mendez double team. Paul Stoll against Broekhoff on the retreat. Hector Hernandez. Shot clock at 4 again. They milk it all the way down. Stoll got head and shoulders beyond Anderson. A little too nimble. Adds the 2. Well, Ingles is overdue. Yet to take a shot in the game. He feeds Anderson. Now Broekhoff. Baines top of the key. Ingles with 10 on the shot clock. Works around 1. Bounce play. What a pass for Baines. Just couldn't get enough on the shot. Australia come up empty. Stoll for Hernandez. Jorge Gutierrez. Looking to shake Broekhoff. Again got by his defender. Good D from Baines. He shut him down quickly. And now Ingles with Broekhoff. And Dellavedova working hard. Anderson. Working against Hector Hernandez, who's called for the foul, reaching in. Going to be the second personal on Hernandez. In fact, his first foul on Hernandez.
Good a ball game here, Case.
Good contest between 2 quality teams. Both last start winners. And there's the foul called on Hernandez. Thought he got plenty of ball. Playing in Puerto Rico. 25 apiece, 3 minutes played in the second quarter. Ingles, single numbers on the shot clock as he invites Dellavedova into the play. Now they've got 5. Need to get busy. Dellavedova unsure. Brockhoff in the corner. Can't complete it. Anderson got into the back of Hector Hernandez there and is going to be called for the foul.
Boomers got to run some plays to try and get Joe Ingles into the game. Now he's had an outstanding tournament. 16 points a game, shooting the ball at 70% from the field.
Paul Stoll getting some treatment from Ryan Brockhoff. Here's Gutierrez. Inside Parada with a good seal on Baines. Didn't get the ball to him though. Mendez elevates for the 3. Yes. Mexico have their biggest lead.
Wow. Big shot.
Dellavedova pushes off Stoll. Mexican fans wanted a foul. Referees didn't see it that way. Here's Ingles looking for Anderson. Pass well read by Jorge Gutierrez. Got a piece of the action. Brockhoff fires again. No reply at this stage of Brockhoff. Gets closer to the rack off the window. That wouldn't work either. Loose ball. Last touch by Australia. Mexico will get possession. Brockhoff, none of 5 from the field, including 0 of 3 from deep.
He'd been shooting the ball at 62% from the three-point line. But you're going to have those games. Again, good experience for his first World Cup.
Timeout called. 4 minutes played, term number 2. Mexico 28 leads Australia 25.
Hey, coach. We're playing stress. All right, don't play stress. Play with some energy and emotion. All right. Offensively, we're getting bogged down. We're getting into on-balls too quickly. All right. So go ahead, but in slow, get it on, get some handoffs, bounce screen, whack, have a look, then get a bounce left, high low opportunities, back in the handoff, and get the fuck out. You keep crowding and trust. Stressing. Yeah, I'm down here. Yeah, no, you keep coming up with the green going. Yeah. No, you keep coming up too soon. On the back end of cross. On the back end of the cross, you come out. Okay? Hey, and the other thing is you've got to keep working defensively. So you've got the guy who's out of bounds, number 4, and he throws it in. Like, get up here and deny this thing coming back. They're just running too much. Here we go, run it out. 1, 2,
Talk about efficiency from Mexico, Shane. 12 of 18 from the field. They picked their spots, have gone inside, and Parada's been outstanding when you consider he only comes in and plays extra minutes because their starting centre, Gustavo Ayon's in foul trouble. He's 2 of 2 from the field for his 5 points. He's provided that target they need to try and free up their outside game.
They've had a really good balance of being able to go inside and out, play off the dribble, not just settle for the 3-point shots. Good mixture of transition versus half-court sets. They're a well-coached team, very disciplined. That's why this game is always going to be an interesting one.
Mendez looks for penetration, draws a foul on Ingles.
Great hesitation there. Joe Ingles thought that he was going to pull up for the jump shot. Didn't. Hesitated, changed his pace and exploded past him.
Second team foul on Australia. Mexico has committed 1 in this term. Parada for Stoll. 9-3 Mexico since quarter time when the Boomers had a 3-point buffer. 5 on the shot clock. Stoll kicks it to Mendez. Really had no option but to fire and drills to 3. Oh, what a finish there. 3 of 4 from deep. Mexico enjoy a 6-point lead.
Well, that's just a tough shot. Joe Ingles can't do any more than contest it the way he did.
Ingles kicks to Anderson. They're giving him nothing at the offensive end, Mexico. Gibson, lob pass to Baines. Had 2 to beat. Just overdid it from close range. And the Boomers just 1 of 8 from the field since quarter time. Mendez splits 2 would-be defenders. Oh, great ball movement. Stole the open look. Can't complete it. Deserve better. Ingles with Newley on the charge. They need a percentage play here, the Boomers. Newley takes a whack Foul will be called. Second team foul on Mexico in this turn. The offense has dried up. Anderson goes to the bench. Brock Modem checks in.
Australia's done a better job of looking after the ball today. Only 4 turnovers. But on the other end, they've only disrupted Mexico for 4 turnovers for them as well. And that's the area Australia's creating 19 turnovers for the opposition every game. Difficult to do game in, game out. This is the 5th game in 6 days for these fellas. And whilst Andre Lamanis has really included his bench and rotated guys, and guys haven't had to play really extended minutes, still difficult to do over a long period of time.
Modem in a confined space feeds Baines for the dunk.
Great pass, Brock Modem. That's how you want Aaron Baines to finish, with authority.
12 points in the game for Aaron Baines. Newley with 6 is Australia's next best scorer. Martinez on Gibson, likes his chances. Foul going to be called on Gibson. High continuation there. First personal for the Adelaide 36ers captain. 3rd team foul on Australia. We're inside 4 minutes to play in the first half. Just 5 points from the Boomers in this quarter.
Adam Gibson looks like he's playing more minutes, or he's playing more minutes than Dante Exum, who we all expected to be the backup point guard. It's the defensive intensity that Adam Gibson brings to the table is why he's got those minutes.
7 seconds on the shot clock here for Mexico. And they bring Hector Hernandez out of the game. Gustavo Ayon is back on, the starting centre. Here he is with the shot clock going off. In fact, it was Parada firing. They come up empty, so a chance for Australia to eat into this 4-point lead. Newley gets it from Motum. Now Ingles. Pass for Newley. Eludes him. Motum. Oh, for a travelling violation. Hector Hernandez getting some advice on the bench from coach Valdiomilos. Stoll. Patient at the top of the key. They're happy to work the shot clock down to single numbers. Baines working on Ayon. Corrals him on the baseline. Ayon wants to go on with it though. Turnaround hook shot. Caught the front of the rim. Now Motum with his foot on the accelerator. Wants to go coast to coast. Why not, said the pick man. I held myself to the 2. His first score in the game.
Such mobility for a 4-man Brock Motum. Good job by Aaron Baines taking up some space and setting a little pick in transition for Motum.
Orlando Mendez leading them a merry dance. Active hands from the Boomers force the loose ball. Motum won't be able to reel that in though. Pass has had a little too much on it.
Right idea, and that's the style of basketball Australia needs to be able to play. They've had success all tournament, really creating those turnovers, getting the deflections, and trying to penalise the opposition in transition.
Mexico with a 2-point edge as Stoll brings them forward once more, guarded by Gibson, and knocks the ball out of his hands, out of court. 14 on the shot clock.
Scoring's really dried up this quarter though, only 7 points in the first 8 minutes of the quarter.
Timeout call by Mexico, 2:19 to play. It's Mexico 31, Australia 29 after the Boomers led 22-19 at quarter time. It's no doubt for Mexico, who are thinking about where they're going to end at the end of the full series as well. A win here for them, and they're looking to push themselves up into the top 3 against the odds, or certainly against the seedings, and then they get a cozy run
Well, they certainly don't want to finish fourth, and if they lose this game to Australia today, which they're predicted to do, is their first game in Barcelona in the final 16 will be against the Americans. So an upset here would give them an opportunity to get in the top 3 and cross over against a team more like Turkey or Ukraine or Finland. Very close group at the moment with the results going on in Pool C.
And while I mentioned they haven't been at the World Cup since 1974, their form leading into this tournament was fantastic. They won the FIBA Americas tournament with an 8-2 record, beat Puerto Rico for the gold medal there. They also had wins over Argentina, defeated Canada. So their form was good. Seems that they're making a comeback. Haven't been at the Olympics since 1976 either. So a long time between drinks for them. Don't forget, we'll be hearing from Nate Jawai during the halftime break. And Aaron Baines has been a star. 12 points in 13 minutes. Been in great form. Stoll, top of the key. Shot clock at 5. Coming off the screen, Gutierrez. Well, it spills to Aon. The rebound landed in his lap. And they've got a fresh shot clock, so they retreat to the top. Things just not happening for the Boomers. Gutierrez did well baseline, not enough on the shot though. Aon just muscles his way against Baines, forces a way to the hoop, can't complete it. Gibson with the ball carrying duties. Modem, Ingles. Guarded by Francisco Cruz. Wants Baines working on Hector Hernandez. Shot clock to 9. Baines short arms the hook shot. Modem in the vicinity, just couldn't reel it in. Now Paul Stoll. Hernandez working hard. Gets it next. Good job from Gibson on the hard closeout, but they left Stoll open in the corner. A wide open look. Can't get it to tumble. And Australia will get possession here. Some confusion amongst the referees, but it is an Australian ball.
Brock Modem just needed a little bit more awareness that he was in a 2-on-1 situation on the weak side. Needed to be in stance to be able to take that closeout. But Mexico's got the tempo they want right now. Australia doesn't want to play in a low-scoring game. They want to get up the floor, get transition. 12-7. Australia are down in this quarter. And it's not the style of basketball they're comfortable with playing in the half court.
Baines to the bench, replaced by Nate Jawai. Ingles the only starter on the floor for Australia at the moment. Here's Modem. Nice quick move against Hernandez. Just couldn't get the finishing touches as Parada puts a stop to it. Like what we're seeing from Brock Modem though. Stoll with Gibson on the retreat. Wants the baseline. Good job again from Adam Gibson. Defensive tyro earning his keep. Ingles, nice play. Newley, well that's what Australia needs.
And it started at the defensive end. Ball hardly touched the floor on the way up. Good passes. Adam Gibson called with a little slap in the backcourt. Australia didn't need to do that. Okay, sorry to jump in, but they're in a great position to be able to double team. That next pass coming out is going to be the opportunity for Australia to get the steal. As you see, Joe Ingles.
Well, Francisco Cruz just needs to invite himself out of the conversation. He invited himself in when Ingles wanted a word with Stoll. Now they've both been called for a technical. Well, a technical foul on Stoll, a technical foul on Ingles. Francisco Cruz was in there when he really didn't need to be. Australia have scored the last 6 points here. They're tied away at 31, remembering they led by as many as 7 in the opening quarter.
As you would imagine, there's a bit of passion from the Mexicans. Bit of emotion. We like that.
Here's Cruz against Nate Jawai. Picks up the dribble when he really didn't need to, and now a foul on Ingles is going to send Cruz to the free throw line.
And that was always going to happen. Anytime tech fouls are blown or there's any argy-bargy, straight after that, as you see, Joe Ingles, as you spoke about, there was just no need for it from Cruz that came in.
Well, if Cruz had walked off, he was just provoking the situation.
The referees gave them plenty of opportunity to be able to separate, but there's no doubt they were always going to call the next foul, and it was always going to be a little tiggy touch with one.
With a terrific free throw shooting team, Mexico at 84%. They lead Spain 2014. Australia at 71% from the free throw line. And Jawai the rebound. So the shot clock and game clock almost in unison here. Mexico by a point as we head toward halftime. Brockhoff and Newley on the wings. Motum and Jawai providing the power. Dellavedova heads for Newley. Shot clock to 5. Newley dances into the paint, went to the left hand. They couldn't catch him. He gets the finishing touches. Gutierrez after the event. And Australia score on the halftime buzzer to retake the lead, but it was Mexico who outscored them in the second. But at the major break, it's Australia 33, leading Mexico 32.
I'm Dave Thornton.
And I'm Ronnie Chang.
We host Double Dribble tonight, where we'll be talking about who won between Australia and Mexico.
Hey Dave, what would you rather, a meat pie or a burrito?
Oh, burrito.
Then in a way, we have already lost.
Double Dribble tonight at 8:20 p.m. on ABC2.
Food traitor! He's a food traitor! He's a food traitor!
Yep, you can catch the guys. Dave Thornton and Ronnie Cheng with Double Dribble every night at 8:20 on ABC2. And they'll have the highlights of the Australia-Mexico game from Gran Canaria for you. And that's the match we're chatting about right here. It was a good start for the Boomers, gentlemen. First break, they were 2 up after a Mexican buzzer beater was ruled out by the ref. It was after the clock went down, but second quarter, Australia not quite as sharp. Phil Smythe, what did you make of that half overall?
Yeah, look, I reckon we just can't find a rhythm at the moment. Mexico have done a good job with their high post pick and their handoff plays, and they're just unsettling us. I reckon Australia, Gibson's done a really good job. We're trying to get at them defensively to generate some turnovers, to get some runs. We can't do that. Aaron Baines has been outstanding again for us. He's carried the team in every game so far. He's just been terrific.
Yeah, look, it's a real clear strategy by the Boomers to sort of get him going early. They went into him, I think he had 10 of the first 12 points for the Boomers, and it actually had a sort of double effect. You know, Aon got those 2 early fouls. He had to sit for the majority of that first half. Boomers weren't quite able to take advantage of it going forward from there, but a great job of sort of establishing Baines early.
Yeah, it's nice to see him playing so well. He really is having a fantastic tournament, as you say, Phil, possibly carrying the side at this stage.
He is at the moment. Joe's been well held at this stage, so they've got to get some scoring avenues from other ways. Brock Motum came in and did a good job for them. I mean, they're around the mark. I mean, they're up by 1 at half time, so you sense that, I mean, it's a silly statement to say, but the third quarter is going to be pivotal, is whether Australia can just start to get the motor going and break free, because it's just been so stagnant. It's been spluttering. Now we need the motor to get going.
And I like Lamanis' strategy. You know, he trusts the depth of this Boomers team, and over the course of the game, Boomers are going to wear him down.
All right, well, I did tell you that Phil Smythe was the oracle. This third quarter will be pivotal. We'll check in at full time. You spoke about moving through the roster, Tommy Greer, and Adam Gibson. He has had some great work this first half, and it's great to see the 36ers captain getting some players. His second World Cup.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's playing the role of Pitbull for this team. He's coming in, he's bringing the intensity. Yeah, that's it. You know, up the floor all the time. He's going for steals. He's being really aggressive. But on the offensive end, he's also doing a great job of just being really controlled. Coming in, making sure he doesn't make too many mistakes, getting the team through their offense, kicking the ball up the lane. I'm really impressed with what he's doing.
I think he's been terrific. I mean, he's done as well as Dellavedova's done. An excellent D there to force a turnover, which was a big turnover for Australia at that time.
Sure was. How about the Mexicans, guys? We named the players that we thought we were going to see a lot of. Gutierrez, we saw some great work from him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the point guard for Brooklyn Nets next year. He's someone we've got to keep wraps on. I mean, Adam Gibson is someone maybe we need to sort of identify as someone to play that role on him and try and lock him down.
I reckon Mendez has been the surprise one. You know, we didn't predict him to do too much. Hit some big threes. He's been the penetrator. I reckon he's the one that's keeping Mexico in the game.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at one of his big threes. Shabam.
It's a couple of steps back. Shabam. Well, Joe Shabam. Chicka-boomba baby.
Now, on the flip side, there was probably some Something to like for Andre Lemanis about the quick way the Boomers burst out of the blocks, but gee, they got sloppy at times, Phil.
Look, and that's been uncharacteristic. They haven't been that. They certainly weren't that against Lithuania. I think it's more trying to be aggressive, just that pass a little bit far. We saw a couple of those. I think they're trying to speed up the tempo of the game.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm sure that they'll be having a word of that, and perhaps a little bit of overconfidence, because they saw, Tommy, that they were in the clear, and they also got very, very passionate. Joe Ingles picking up a technical foul there and showing more of, he bleeds green and gold.
I mean, this is something we have to be really careful about. Mexicans want this. They want to play physical. They're going to try and rattle us a bit, so we've got to be really careful going forward. That we don't buy into it. That sort of stuff with Joey. We've got to stay away from that.
I'd have woken the sleeping giant right there. Expect Joey to look fairly aggressive in the third quarter, I reckon.
In our pivotal third quarter.
Pivotal third quarter. Well, it's the one at the end, of course, but we'll go with the third.
Of course. Well, we have that coming up in just a few minutes. Of course, later on we have the USA, and that'll be USA playing Dominican Republic. Oh, there's been so many teams. Their last game, of course, was against New Zealand. Gentlemen, we watched this one, and as expected, America, Tommy, way too strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Just too strong. I mean, New Zealand, you know what you're going to get from them. They're going to come out, they're going to fight. They always play desperate brand of basketball, but just the sheer size of the Americans really wore them down. Anthony Davis and Kenneth Faried, just too big. New Zealand's got no one to really battle on it. Like I said, Mika Vakona's going to do his best under there, but simply not big enough.
Just throw it at the ring. I mean, they're just terrific. And Faried and Davis have become a really dynamic duo, haven't they, for the USA? They just caused so many problems. But New Zealand kept hanging around. But as you said, Tommy, the USA just wore them out. Just too much talent.
Guys, they weren't absolutely flogged. And in fact, there have been teams that have managed to hold them for a short period of time. Do you think perhaps it's the athleticism, that sheer power that the American players have got?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, the way I saw it, the Americans came out in this game and they were having a bit of fun from pretty early on. I think they knew that they were going to run away with this one pretty early on. But, I mean, to New Zealand's credit, they did hang around. But, I mean, this one was a foregone conclusion.
I think the other thing with the USA is that they know they're going to win. So that having that self-belief, you talk about confidence, they ooze it.
Yeah.
So they don't expect to lose, they expect to win. So even when they're in trouble in the last game we saw against Turkey, didn't seem flustered. It was like, well, inevitably we'll get back on top and win. It'd be nice to be like that in every game.
Yeah, no.
There's your man with the beard, no doubt about it.
Fear the beard.
He's
good on you,
the
Mr.
dynamo
Harden.
for the US, no doubt.
He really is. And we're loving watching them play. And as we said, we've got Dominican Republic coming up for you tomorrow morning, Australian time. But, guys, is this curtains for New Zealand? They couldn't really afford to drop another game.
No, they can't. They've got to win the last two if they want any chance of sort of progressing. Before the tournament, I thought they had a good chance. And then we saw them come out against Turkey. They really played them extremely tough. I thought they'd be a lock for that top four. But it's looking dicey.
I agree with you. I agree. I thought they would be too.
Yeah, and we see them rock bottom there. 0-3 for New Zealand. Finland probably the other side that's likely to miss out here on debut. But USA at the top. And as you said, we've got a pretty interesting bunch of players there and some real... Well, I think to call them show ponies is possibly not exactly fair.
Entertainers.
But look at Faried. Entertainers is much better. Phil, wouldn't you love to be able to do that? I'm sure you
Absolutely,
thought about it.
absolutely. I wouldn't mind the
never had that,
dreadlocks.
Phil?
I didn't have the dreadlocks either. I didn't have the jump or the dreadlocks. But the thing about him is that he just keeps playing all game. I mean, that move he made there to spin out and then throw it in the air and get a dunk, he's just got to be a great athlete and have great skill to do that.
Yeah, Tommy, that's how it goes, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's how I used to do it. No way. No doubt.
You're dreaming,
You missed
Tommy.
that.
You're dreaming, Tommy.
Did you miss that, Phil?
I missed
that one.
Well, you guys can have another look at it tomorrow morning, 5:25 Eastern on ABC. It'll be Dominican Republic who are taking on the USA. The first time we'll have seen Dominican Republic this tournament. Dominican Republic know they have a job to do tomorrow. And as I said, 5:25 a.m. over on our main channel, ABC, will be where you can catch that one. But Anthony Davis has proven to be a real star of this USA side. Let's hear what he had to say before the tournament.
USA means a lot, the 3 letters that's on your chest. You represent the whole country, and it's just not the name on the back. When you got that jersey on, it's more for the name on the front end. Everybody doesn't matter. It doesn't care who scores, how many points, etc. They just want to win. We only want gold, and the cup. So that's what we got to compete and work for. Definitely want to be one of those guys, and able to share this, with the teammates and Coach K.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, he's having a superb tournament. Phil Smyth, Tommy Greer, I think he shows a lot more energy on the court, though, doesn't he? That interview.
He's a better player than a talker. Normally you have the players that can talk and can't play. He's one that can play. He can do both.
He does, Tommy. Hasn't he been exceptional? He's been one of the few players that has carried over from London, and he's become one of the absolute dominating stars of this side.
Yeah, he has, and we've spoken about it before, but, he really is on his way to becoming possibly the best player in the world. He's touted to be the best player in the world over the next sort of 5 years, and he's doing it here during this tournament. He's really sort of coming of age.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch him, and he's flying through the air, doing all sorts of athletic feats. But tell you what he doesn't have, the imposing physical presence, Phil, of our Nathan Jawai.
I reckon Nathan's been really good, and the opportunities he's had, he's maximised them. He's been good in this game. He was certainly good against Lithuania. I think some people look at him and say he's overweight, but he's a good athlete. He gets up and down. He's always been a big guy. He's coming back off an injury that nearly kept him out of the game for over a year, so he's doing okay.
Yeah, and tell you what, the guy that ran into him yesterday when he came on the court knows all about Nate Jawai. Let's hear what he had to say after the Lithuania match. He caught up with Shane Hill.
Big Nate, that was an unbelievable win for Australian basketball.
Yeah, it's a great win. I think it's the 3rd time I think we beat Lithuania, so it's an important win for us after dropping our first game to Slovenia. So coming out with a performance like that, and it's got to build from that to the end of this round and see what we have next round.
Mate, you played really important minutes, and you came on for minimal amount of minutes, but you played with such poise.
I try to come out relaxed all the time. I'm not at the level of the guys that are out there right now, so it's a bit tough for me. So I just try to focus on what's going to benefit me, what's going to be good, like being poised, do the little work that could help the team, even just sitting on the bench. So it's been tough, but it's good. I'm trying to do my best.
And it seems like Luke Longley's helping you as well with some extra work after trainings.
Yeah, Luke's been great. I worked with him from the start of camp. Him and Dre have been real great to me, and basically sitting me aside and telling me what my role is, and just stay positive, and my time will come, and Luke's been great with that.
You'd have to think that you're going to keep building throughout this tournament now?
Yeah, hopefully I could do that. Whatever comes, I'm going to try and take it, even if we're up or down. Getting out there is just a pleasure that I'm able to play again, and it's special to be here, and to get that opportunity from Dre, it's important.
How's the feeling in the locker room?
It's great. Everyone's happy, but we try not to get too hard. Go back to the hotel now, recover, and focus for the next match.
Good luck, big fella. Oh, no, I've got to ask you one more thing. They said you don't like the nickname Outback Shaq. Is that right?
That's been known forever, man.
Well, see, I'm new to this, mate, but I heard the nickname in the off-season. I reckon that's one of the greatest nicknames ever.
That nickname was given to me in the NBL, so I didn't like it then, and then it's coming back again. So.
And you're okay with it now?
Yeah, I'm all right. I got to take it. It's a compliment, but also to be compared to one of the best big men in the league, in the game, is tough to be like that. So yeah.
You're the Australian version, mate, and we're proud of you. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, being compared to Shaq is not such a bad thing. But Phil Smyth, I'm getting the impression that Nate still doesn't really like that nickname. I think Hammer's a bit brave, given he's got Nate towering over him while he's saying that.
I reckon if he said he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it, and it's been known forever, then you should have known and don't say it. I
want to put that one in the back pocket, I think, and save it.
I think you're probably
Leave it
right,
alone.
gents. So, guys, let's take a look at the Pool D standings at this point. And we'd said that Australia went to the top with their win over Lithuania. Slovenia getting the win over Korea put them back in #1 spot. It's a bit of a dicey situation, Phil.
Look, I sat at home today and tried to go through all the scenarios, and in the end...
Hurt your head?
It did. I got a headache trying to do it. It doesn't take much for me to get that either, which is probably fair to say. But in saying that, we've just got to wait and see. It's going to be a wait and see. Hopefully, Australia don't finish second or fourth.
All right, Tommy, what's the plan for the second half?
I think
gonna be
wear
pivotal.
them down. Yeah, it's going to be pivotal. No, I think we just wear them down. I'm not that upset with the first half. I think if we just keep rotating through bodies, we're deeper than them, and we'll get over the line.
We're hanging in there. Third quarter's going to open up.
All right, let's find out. It's time to head back to Gran Canaria. Let's go back to our commentators, John Casey and Shane Heal.
Well, a very interesting second half about to unfold here at Gran Canaria Arena. Mexico and Australia locked in an intense battle at the moment. And full credit to Brad Newley, the hometown boy here. 4 of 4 from the field. He sparked 10 points off the bench to help Australia when they trailed by as many as 6 during that second quarter. In fact, Newley and Baines are the only 2 Australians with multiple field goals at half-time. And we're going to have to improve that situation if we're going to win, Shane Hill.
Yeah, this game's perfectly set up for somebody like Brad Newley. 10 points, you'd expect that Andre Lemanis will inject him pretty quickly into this third quarter. And again, it's going to come from the defensive end of the Australians to be able to get this transition basketball going. There's always going to be a battle case, there's no doubt about that. They've pushed both Lithuania and Slovenia in the first few games, and now's the time for Australia to be able to wear them down.
Australia back to their original starting 5. Mexico, as they go in the corner for Broekhoff, who's overdue, and Broekhoff comes up with a big 3, just the start the Boomers needed.
They really haven't run that play too much in the tournament. A Spurs play with Ingles being able to get the pick and pop, perfectly set up. Broekhoff straight down the baseline for an open 3.
Orlando Mendez, who's starting the second half after coming off the bench early, comes up empty there. Here's Baines for Anderson against Aon, harassed by Gutierrez, who got enough of it to strip him of the ball. Cruz for Hernandez. Aon top of the key. I'll go back to Francisco Cruz. Penetrating Gutierrez, ambitious attempts, couldn't get it to go. Ingles off and running. Broekhoff to his right, looks down low for Anderson. Good hands there from Aon. Now's a chance for Jorge Gutierrez, one of the 2 NBA players in Mexico's lineup, but he retreats. Orlando Mendez, top of the key, starting here ahead of Ramos in the second half, and that's why. Nice his way to the hoop, comes up with a finish.
Well, I've spoken about it a few times. Australia's pick and roll defense is a major weakness. And maybe not against some of the weaker teams, but when we get to the final 16, really going to have to be able to improve.
Great ball movement for Broekhoff to fill up another 3.
Great extra pass from Matthew Dellavedova. Exciting signs when Broekhoff makes multiple 3s.
Broekhoff, 8 of 13 from 3-point territory, 61%. Here's Ingles, Dellavedova and Baines, a 3-on-2 fast break, but they slow it down. Anderson, now Broekhoff. Dellavedova getting some treatment from Gutierrez. Anderson fires and splashes the 2. And this has been an extremely entertaining start to the second half. Australia 3 of 3 from the field have opened up a 7-point edge.
8 points in the first 2.5 minutes and only 11 points in the entire second quarter. Great start.
Shot clock into single numbers now, as Orlando Mendez works in a mismatch against Anderson, reaching in. Dellavedova got plenty of ball, will be called for the foul. First personal in the game. In fact, that one on Anderson.
You see, in international basketball, I think switching that on-ball screen is an invitation to be penalised by attacking guards who isolate those bigs and really try and get into the paint, make things happen.
Orlando Mendez down low. Baines trying to corral Aon, did a great job. Dellavedova has Broekhoff ahead of him. Ingles joining in on the left wing. Baines double team. They deny him the ball initially. Now they find an opening. Baines lost a handle, scoops it back up, needs help. Anderson baseline. Yes.
Dave hasn't shot the ball well from the perimeter for most of the tournament. Hit some big shots yesterday against Lithuania, but starting to find his range now.
10-2 start to this quarter, and now it's getting a little bit feisty as well. Contact as Dellavedova went down, and the Australian bigs came in just to make sure that there was not going to be anything to go on with. And Anderson getting some lip here from Hector Hernandez.
An unsportsmanlike has been called. Not sure who on yet. Looked like it was against Australia. Referees had their little huddle. 3 separate huddles going on, as you see. It'll be on Dave Anderson, I think. Not that he really deserved it. I thought the Mexican guard created all the contact. You see a big block here from Aaron Baines against Aon. They've done a good job of being able to really keep him out of the game so far. He draws 7 fouls in the per game. Hasn't happened today. 3rd in the league.
Unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Anderson. The initial foul was called on Dellavedova.
I'm not sure what else Dellavedova can do. You know, he's trailing the guard. The guard changed direction to create contact. To me, that's an offensive foul. They're always going to penalise the 3rd man in. There was nothing aggressive from what Dave Anderson did, but especially when there's a bit of feeling anyway. Good start to this 3rd quarter, though, for the Aussies.
Jorge Gutierrez, one of those Mexican players yet to miss a free throw in the tournament. And they've got 4 of those. In fact, 5 of their players have not missed a free throw. Anderson just looking for an explanation.
But they can certainly shoot the ball, the Mexicans.
They needed that. They were 1 of 5 from the field since half-time. Jorge Gutierrez. He's with the Brooklyn Nets. Works against the Cleveland Cavaliers guard, Matthew Dellavedova. Aon involved now, confronted by Brockhoff, who did a good job with the help D. They spill the ball into the corner, and the 3-pointer from Francisco Cruz is all the bottom of the net.
5 points in one play phase.
Ingles, baseline.
Same play.
Brockhoff inside. Anderson. Nice look from Ingles. Goes to work. Baines is fouled. Couldn't complete it, but he'll be off to the free throw line. Payne Ingles with the lightning pass. Just creates so much for his teammates.
He's a great all-round player, Joe Ingles. He's 3rd in the tournament for steals at 2.7.
Baines now a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line.
Big advantage to have a centre that can be so efficient from the free throw line as well. The team's done a good job beating the big fella inside.
Cruz hands over for Jorge Gutierrez. A little over 4 minutes played, term number 3. Here's Aon against Baines, the 2 big bangers going at it. Foul going to be called on the Boomers.
They're starting to call a little bit soft inside. I thought Baines' call down the other end was a bit soft as well. And Aon's a class player. He's been able to understand exactly what's going on, and he wants to be aggressive to the basket and try and draw another free throw.
Anderson with 4 fouls has to sit down. Australia has committed 4 fouls in this period. Still with 5:44 left on the clock. Expects Mexico to try and exploit that advantage, particularly with their free throw shooting being so good.
Big challenge for Australia to do that, because they've played an aggressive style of defence, which has been great to watch and really contributed to the overall success. But now they have to be smart and make sure they don't bail out the Mexicans and put them in the line.
5-point ball game.
Brad Newley ready to check in.
Dellavedova works baseline. Forced into a tough one. Bairstow the rebound. Now Ryan Broekhoff. Shot clock rolls to single numbers. Bairstow in a mismatch against Gutierrez. Wants to muscle his way into the paint. Couldn't finish it. Tip him wouldn't tumble initially, but eventually Aaron Baines puts a finish to it. 16 points in the game now for Aaron Baines. Australia's lead is back to 7. Francisco Cruz for Aon. Resumes his battle against Baines. Spinning baseline, trying to step past him, but found nothing. Shot clock at 5. Firing up Francisco Cruz never looked likely. Loose ball scramble. Dellavedova has it. And the Australians run the floor. Bairstow for Broekhoff. Baines penetrates, kicks Broekhoff, works inside. Jorge Gutierrez and smashes the 3.
Great up fake from Ryan Broekhoff. Little step back for 3.
17-8 Australia in this period. Well, the Mexicans will be disappointed with this, Shane. They're down by 10. They're really right in this game, but they look up and find themselves with a double-figure margin. Well, they can turn it around pretty quickly. And the good signs for Australia are they lead by 10, but they certainly are a long way from their best.
Well, the Mexicans will be disappointed, but not surprised. It's a trend that's happened throughout this tournament. And we certainly expected them to be competitive for the first half, but Australia has just worn them down. And you would expect with Brad Newley coming into the game as well, he was exceptional in the first half. Expect him to be in an aggressive frame of mind with 10 points, and you think he'd be on the way to 20.
You'll love that shooter's mentality from Ryan Broekhoff as well. He was none of 5 at halftime. He's hit 3 threes here in the space of 5.5 minutes.
And Australia is so evenly spread with the contributors that they have at the offensive end, and you know, they're not relying on Ryan Broekhoff to score points, but certainly a big advantage when he can get his feet set. Such a great three-point shooter.
Gibson into the game as well. This is Broekhoff working against Orlando Mendez. Baines the only starter on the floor for Australia at the moment. Cruz goes to Aon, and Hector Hernandez rushes to the hoop, draws a foul on Gibson. Free throws to come.
Gibson was good in the first half. The team was up 7 while he was on the court, as opposed to Dellavedova, who's a class player, but starters probably just didn't get it done as much. They were down 6 while Delly was in the game. Certainly turned that around in the third quarter with a great contribution. Brad Newley, while he was in the game in the first half, they were up 7 also.
Gibson brings the Boomers back up the floor. A 9-point buffer. 4 and a bit to play in the third quarter. Australia looking for their 3rd consecutive win. Bairstow worried out of the points initially, goes back to work for seconds and comes up with the finish, his first points in the game.
Good persistence by Bairstow. Got blocked the first time, way to stay with it.
Australia with 8 scorers so far. Ingles, not one of them. Mendez inside Gibson, confronted by Bairstow, kicks outside. This is Francisco Cruz, spinning, wheeling and dealing, never looked likely. Good D from Australia. Broekhoff took his eye off the ball, they almost pinched it. Now Gibson. Bairstow working on the undersized Jorge Gutierrez, dances into the paint, kicks outside, foot on the line for Broekhoff. Well, they've called it a 3, but I could see from here it was a foot on the line. We'll take it nonetheless.
Great pass from Cameron Bairstow. Put himself into the paint instead of throwing up an awkward shot. Found the hot hand of Ryan Broekhoff. Great recognition.
22 points to 9 Australia here in the third. Jorge Gutierrez looked like a charge. Is a charge. He came down hard as well. Baines taking one for the team.
Such an unselfish team, the Australians, willing to be able to throw that extra pass to get everyone into the game. Well-earned break from Aaron Baines. See this here. Great D for Aaron Baines to be able to get his feet outside that circle. You see here, not sure about that case. Good long distance call from yourself though. What a distance from where he took that shot.
Certainly the referee was right on the spot. Inside 3 minutes left in the third. Jawai back to Gibson. They've coughed it up under pressure. Marco Ramos hands off to Paul Stoll. Hector Hernandez in the corner. Catch and shoot. Can't complete it. Bairstow got a piece of it. Broekhoff. Jawai and Newley ahead of him. Good things about to happen for Australia. Outback shot.
Great pass by Broekhoff. Big fella put the foot down. Felt a dunk coming. It's his second dunk in 2 games.
16-point lead. They started this quarter with a 1-point edge, Australia. Ramos, Stoll, working on Gibson. Aon had to go and retrieve the pass, can't complete it. Shot clock expired in the background, though they've kept it alive. Aon marches to the hoop. Nate Jawai thought he got all ball, but it's called a foul. Free throws to come. Here's Nate Jawai getting upstairs and flushing too. On the other end, Mexico 2 of 10 from the field in this quarter. They have gone ice cold.
He really played down where he's at, Nate Jawai, and the catch-up I had with him yesterday, but I really think he can play an important role. Probably not big minutes, but really valuable minutes when he does get that opportunity to be able to get on.
Parada will check into the game for Mexico at the next opportunity. And Australia gets possession there. Well, Marco Ramos did well to get the rebound, just couldn't control it. Now Parada in. Hector Hernandez heads to the bench. Australia with 3 players in double figures, led by Baines with 16. Mexico with just 1 at the moment. Mendez. Here's Bairstow. Attracted plenty of attention. Couldn't get an effective shot away. Batted down out of court. Mexico will restart.
Good pass from Brad Newley on that curl cut. Drew the big guy. Nice little pocket pass to Cam Bairstow. Just couldn't finish it.
Mendez hands over to Paul Stoll against Bairstow. Picks up the dribble. Here's Mendez. Back to Stoll. Firing the 3. Now 5 of 11 from long range, Mexico. Australia 6 of 11 in that category. Dante Exum. Australia used 5 bench players at the moment. Nate Jawai goes to work from close range. Tip in from Cam Bairstow wouldn't work. Jawai gets after it. And Australia can reset inside the last minute of the third quarter. A foul called here on Marco Ramos. It's the 3rd team foul on Mexico in this quarter.
I'm just loving the poise that Nathan Jawai plays with at the moment. He's on North Queensland time, but he evaluates everything and not in a hurry.
Single digits on the shot clock. Exum beats Bairstow. Slow pass, had to go and retrieve it. Now Nathan Jawai with the offensive rebound. Fresh shot clock, but Newley's going hard to the hoop, and Parada did a good job to defend it. Here's Aon, Gustavo Aon. Not his go, doing the ball carrying duties, rushing to the hoop, but he's done enough to draw a foul on Exum and off to the free throw line.
the 6'9" centre from the Atlanta Hawks, going coast to coast. Did a great job to be able to control the ball there. Good reach from Dante. He needed to be able to make a play.
Dellavedova and Broekhoff check in for Gibson and Exum for the last 31.9 seconds. Adam Gibson's done a terrific job in this game. Only the 2 points, but so disruptive. He's really set the tempo for the rest of the Australian defence.
I think his decision-making's been good too. You know, at the start of the game, his first stint off the bench, I thought he was pretty aggressive without necessarily putting points on the board, but his decision-making, getting the ball to the right people at the right time was good.
Uncharacteristic miss from the free throw line for Aon. Gets there more than any other player for Mexico. That was a brick. Missed a lot. Caught the backboard. May not see that again in the World Cup. The shot clock, 7 seconds inside the game clock. Dellavedova working against Paul Stoll. Happy to milk it right down. Now Jawai comes to set the screen. Well, they've done a good job, Mexico. Jawai, nice pass. Bairstow for the finishing touches. Right with the shot clock expiring. Time for Mexico to get a reasonable look. It's Mendez, the danger man. Caught it deep. But it's all one-way traffic in the third quarter for Australia. They outscore Mexico 26-13, and with a quarter to play, they have a 14-point edge. They're up and about the Boomers. It's Australia 59, leading Mexico 45.
Well, I thought that last basket from Australia, just great find from Dellavedova over the Jawai. And again, the Aussie mindset has been able to make that extra pass, the willingness to be able to get it to the right person in the right spot, and Jawai finding big Cam Bairstow. As we see the shooting percentages here, Australia on 47-44 for Mexico. Absolutely smashing the Mexicans, 32-17 on the boards, 9 turnovers to 8. Pretty even there. 19 fouls to Australia for the aggressive style. Australia did a pretty good job of keeping off the line, as we saw that first play with the baseline drive and dish from Joe Ingles to Broekhoff for 3. And that's that pick and roll defense we spoke about, just too easy. And Broekhoff again getting his feet set on the three-point line. 4 threes in that quarter from Ryan Broekhoff. He's on a roll. It'll be interesting to see whether he can create any more in this last quarter. And the Mexicans have proven they certainly have some talent as well.
Baines has been a constant right throughout this, but Broekhoff, he turned it on there. As I mentioned, he was none of 5 from the field at half-time, and then hit 4 threes in that third quarter. That certainly stretches the defense once you've got your outside shooter starting to light it up.
You know, and compliments to his teammates. There's that pass from Dellavedova to Jawai. Extra pass from Jawai to Bairstow. But I love the mindset of the Australians really looking for Broekhoff after he made his first. Good play by Andre Lamanis to come out at half-time to get in the basket. And I like this lineup with Ingles and Yulee about to start this quarter. Potent perimeter, not only defense but also offense as well.
Mexico just 3 of 12 from the field in the third quarter, restricted to only 13 points, and that's what they scored in the second as well. So Mexico have just 45. They scored 79 against Angola, and that was yesterday. They've got the possession arrow here. A nice move as well. Aon, that's what we're expecting to see as he adds the 2. Bairstow buffeted by Aon, who stripped him of the ball as well. He's Stoll. Oh, blew past a couple of defenders. Spoon feeds Aon. They like that. The Mexicans, they're up on the bench here. And Andre Lamaris is the opposite. He wants timeout. We've played 35 seconds. They got 2 great looks at the hoop, and the margin is cut to 10.
Well, again, it was that pick and roll defense You see them split the defender. You see the little no-look pass in that first play. And still the first play. Hopefully they show the second play where the defence was split, but just too easy. Good time out from Andre Lemanis to remind the fellas, keep your mind on the job here, boys. Let's finish them off.
Hey, this one here, come down, cut, and we'll go with a flash. All right, here, wax, give it to Nate. All right, so Jules, you come up the inside, give it to Nate, hard back cut. Dolly's the second guy, and if you don't like any of it, keep going through, and Joey's coming off, and Joey's got the handoff coming off. Okay? Let's go, let's go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Well, explosive start to the final quarter here from Mexico. Back-to-back baskets, but not only that, but the way they went about it as well. It's what we were expecting to see right from the get-go. Shooting the ball at 52% from the field. They're getting some great looks down low. Matches against Lithuania and Slovenia when they lost, as Shane Hill pointed out, they were right in those games for 3 quarters before opening their account with a 24-point win over Angola. Nate Chawai onto the floor, feeds Ingles. They did a great job of keeping Joe Ingles out of the play. Marco Ramos doing it illegally there that time. Called for the foul. It's the first in this quarter. Second personal for Ramos. Interesting move, Shane. Chawai starts straight out of the timeout, but straight away Baines comes back.
You're not sure what that was about, but
Newley sneaking back door. Dellavedova with a great look. Newley just couldn't find it. Well, that was a well-executed play until the last shot.
I think Delhi will have a talk to Newley on that one. No, on 3rd and assists at the moment.
Mendez. Well, he feeds Parada. Can't complete it. Dellavedova the rebound. Now he wants to retrieve the situation.
Correction, 6th in assists.
Bairstow, they leave him open. Mexico doing a good defensive job at the moment. Newley gets it, 8 on the shot clock, looks to penetrate. Exploring on the dribble, feeds Bairstow, goes to work, tough shot, makes it tumble. Nice finish from Cam Bairstow.
Great finish. He's had an aggressive mindset tonight, Cam Bairstow. It's his 8th point. He's only played 9 minutes.
And Joe Ingles has played 23 minutes and hasn't taken a shot. But they have smothered him with their D, Mexico. In the corner, splashing the triple, Marco Ramos. Bairstow, hands off for Newley. Little over 2 minutes played in the final quarter. They give Bairstow some latitude. Now Newley looks for penetration, works against Mendez. Back the other way, shot clock to 5. A foot violation will reset that.
Well, they're certainly dangerous when they're in this frame of mind. Mexico, nothing to lose. Down double-figure margin coming into this last quarter. Outscored the Australians 7-2.
Brock Modem into the game. Here's Ingles. Shot clock works to 5. They left him open. He's off the mark. First shot of the game with 7:28 left in. Pistol showing them some tricks. Just rushing up the floor, trying to catch them napping. Goes on with it. Kicks the ball. Ramos hit the last shot. Comes up with a goods again. (10-2) start from Mexico. And the margin has been cut to just 6. Baines caught under the hoop. A travelling violation has been called.
I'm not sure that was a travel. Another good pass from Dellavedova. Australia need to get back to the aggressive mindset defensively. Only scored 2 points this quarter in the first just over 3 minutes. All starts at the defensive end for the Boomers.
Here's Mendez taking on Brockhoff. Under the rack, can't finish it. Good job from Parada. And now a foul is going to be called on the Australians, their second in this quarter. Second personal foul has been called on Matthew Dellavedova. Anderson and Gibson check in. Motum and Dellavedova to the bench. Mendez giving them plenty to think about at the moment. Caught the front of the rim. On the rebound. They've tossed it out of court. All the Australians catch a break, and they needed it. The 14-point three-quarter time lead has been reduced to just 6 with 6.5 to play. Baines against Parada. Just muscles his way to the hoop, can't complete it. Now a foul is going to be called on Mexico.
I think Aaron Baines had a little bit more space getting to the basket, tried to create that contact and actually took himself out of position a little bit too far under the rim.
Fourth foul on Aon, so that certainly influences the equation as well. Arguably the most important player for Mexico in foul trouble. The coach leaves him there. Gibson. Anderson. Hands over to Ingles. Eventually they get him an open look. He wants to take on Ramos. Double team, coughed it up. Aon got a piece of it. Hasn't been Joe's night.
Been a little bit too unselfish at the moment, I think, Joe. He's had a couple of looks and he's shot the ball so well in this tournament. He needs to back himself and play such an important role for this Boomers team.
Gibson called for the foul. It's number 4 for him as well. Second team foul on Australia in this final quarter. Ramos restarts. Aon almost kicked it back over the halfway line and now Stoll. Mendez exploring. Good job from Brockhoff to stay with him initially. Now he finds a way past. Shot clock expiring. Can't complete it. Australia drag down the board. Gibson with Ingles to his right. Brockhoff on the other wing. Baines looking for a good close seal on Parada, who's forced to foul.
It really was a great seal from Baines, getting in deep. Good find from Ryan Brockhoff. Throwing that long bounce pass in from the top of the key. Tough man to get around Aaron Baines when he's aggressive, getting in the opposition's legs like that in the paint.
Ingles skip pass. Gibson works inside Mendez. Feeds Baines from close range. Couldn't finish it. On the rebound. Here's Stoll. Pass Gibson. Pulls up for the jumper. Rattled around the rim and jumped out. Ingles the rebound. We move inside the last 5 minutes of the contest. Australia with a 6-point buffer, but Mexico with momentum at the moment. Baines spinning baseline against Parada. Overcooked the left-handed shot. Aon, rebound number 8 for him. He leads the game in that category. Stoll. Wraparound pass. It's knocked down out of court.
You look at the difference between Nate Jawai and Aaron Baines when they get the ball on the block, and Aaron's really anxious to try and make something happen, and he'll take what the defense gives him rather than really being a little bit more patient, looking at the movement that's off the post and trying to get himself in a better position at the same time of having the poise to find his teammates as well.
Stoll takes it from Cruz. Shot clock at 2. They need to get this up quickly. Aon an unlikely conveyance, and Brockhoff doing a good job to snatch the rebound. Australia 1 of 6 from the field in this quarter, and we played almost 6 minutes. It's dried up at the offensive end. Who can they find to make it happen? This is Ingles. Shot clock at single numbers. Anderson ready to fire baseline. Skims on the rim. Stole the rebound.
They continually walk the ball up the court and play a half-court motion-type offense where it's really not the strength of the Boomers. It hasn't been in any game so far. Ramos. Tempo going our way.
Well, Anderson's going to pick up the foul here. That's going to be his 5th personal. There he is, just restricting the movement of Aon. No, in fact, they've called the foul I thought it was Anderson, but they've attributed it to Baines. Cruz elevating way off the money. Stoll. Back to Cruz. Rejected by Baines. Big, powerful display by the defence of the Australians. Dellavedova isolated, takes on Stoll, gets it to tumble, draws a foul, chance at a three-point play.
Great block from Aaron Baines with his left hand, threw it out. Good kick up from Joe Ingles to Dellavedova, and again, that's when we look best. Good finish by Matty Dellavedova to take that foul and still have the poise to be able to finish.
Fourth personal foul on Stoll. Fourth team foul on Mexico as well. So now they've got those problems as Hernandez checks in, replacing Parada. Matthew Dellavedova goes to the free throw line for Australia. 5 of 6 from the stripe coming into this game. Can't get the back end. In confusion, but the ball is going to Mexico. Still plenty of time left for Mexico. Down by 8, a little over 3 minutes out. Cruz guarded by Brockhoff. Here's Stoll against Dellavedova. He lost a handle on it. Spills out of court. The referee initially pointed in the Australian direction, but he's corrected himself.
Well, I think the ref saw the ball slip out of the Mexican's hands, but it clearly came off Matthew Dellavedova.
They've made a concerted charge here in the fourth. Mexico down by 14 when we started. Close to within 6 at one stage. Now it's 8. Here's Stoll. Lost the handle again. Baines, Brockhoff, Ingles in support.
Again, they had opportunities to be able to take the numbers advantage that they had in transition then.
Here's Baines, attracting plenty of attention, draws a foul. Hernandez attributed with it, and free throws to come. And now Mexico over the limit in terms of fouls in this final quarter as well. Been a terrific contest. A little bit of argy-bargy if you joined us late. Saw Joe Ingles and Paul Stoll issued technical fouls in the second. Australia burst out of the blocks on the back of an Aaron Baines dunk. Led by 7 in the first quarter. Mexico led by 6 at one stage in the second quarter. And then the third, Australia scored 26-13 and opened up a very handy lead. But here again in the fourth, Mexico, to their credit, really kept coming.
Well, it's really just been the inconsistency of Australia at the offensive end. 22 points in the first quarter, only 11 in the second, 26 in the third, and now only 5 in the first 7.5 minutes of this last quarter.
And 2 of 9 from the field since three-quarter time. Aon went well there against Baines, worked one way back the other and comes up with the finish. Into double figures, 10 points, 8 boards. Baines has 17 and 4. Dellavedova gets a good look at it. Little deep with the 3. Well, Brockhoff kept that alive. Might have done it illegal as he jumped into the back there of Jorge Gutierrez, but it goes unwhistled. Here's Ingles against Gutierrez. Picks up the dribble. Anderson. Shot clocked at 10. Brockhoff joins in. Harassed by Cruz. Anderson open for the 3. Can hit it, not on this occasion. Jorge Gutierrez, all the support on his right. And now Aon and Stoll arrive as well to join the offense, but he goes solo. Well short off the front of the rim. Baines the rebound. And they're not doing enough now, the Mexicans. Still time for them to come up with something as Australia cough it up once more. 13 turnovers for Australia. Mexico has 11 in that category. Stoll. Ooh, awkward pass, but Aon never was really on. And Australia will come up with possession. Both teams just losing their way at the offensive end here. Some timeout called by Mexico. 1:17 left on the clock. Australia leads by 7. Well, they've halved the deficit from 14 at three-quarter time. Mexico 12-5 since the last break. And at the moment, 77 seconds to play. Australia should be able to get home from here.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't been the excitement that we experienced last night with the Lithuanian game. But to be expected 5 games in 6 days. As we see some of the highlights from this game.
Of course, Australia to play Angola in their last game, and that will be in 24 hours from now. Same time slot for all our viewers on ABC. ABC2.
Really the top 4 assured in this group, with Mexico really booking themselves a trip to the final 16 in Barcelona. Looks like Australia's going to finish second now, Case. Match up with, well, we don't know yet. It looks like it's the 3rd place. Well, it's definitely the 3rd place from Pool C, but that could be Ukraine, Finland.
The United States are going to finish top there. And it seems that New Zealand are out of the frame. So you've got Ukraine, Turkey, Finland, and the Dominican Republic.
The big problem for Australia is in that crossover, win that game, then we will place America, play against America to make the top 4.
So a quarter-final clash, it would seem, with the USA. So no urgency about Mexico here at the moment. Shot clock down to single numbers. Inside the last 60 seconds. Baines, Anderson, the open man, Brockhoff. Now he needs to get busy. A shot clock will expire on them.
Well, interesting from both teams coming out of a timeout. Mexico really didn't look like they had a plan of turning up the tempo or trying to create a steal, and Australia really didn't have anywhere to go to either.
Now they're getting the hurry up from the coach. Paul Stoll works back up the floor. Hernandez, he's ready to go. And way off the money. Aon gets bumped trying for the putback. And he's off to the free throw line. Hernandez's shot was woeful. Just seems a little bit out of sorts in this final quarter, Mexico.
It was a good closeout by Dave Anderson. Obviously knew the scouting report against Hernandez.
And Hector Hernandez, 1 of 3 from long range in this game. He hit 6 of 10 against Angola for a game-high 24 points.
Oh, my. You missed that as you're looking down, Case, but he's just thrown up another brick. Wasn't even a brick. It was that far from hitting the ring. Now he was blowing on his fingers to say it slipped. Like you're going to need more than that to convince us, pal.
Safely makes the adjustment. Dellavedova, double team. Now they put some pressure on. Ingles, cross halfway. Anderson. So the interest is in the margin. It would seem that Mexico aren't too intent on pressurising the Australians at the moment. Ingles baseline. And the passing lane shut down there by Francisco Cruz. 6 on the shot clock. 21.9 seconds left in the game. Ingles to restart for Australia. Baines. Target man goes to work off the window, adds another 2. 19 in the game for Baines. He leads all scorers, as he did against Slovenia in game 1. Margin is 8 as Stoll takes on Brockhoff. Aon around the perimeter. Penetration comes from Gutierrez, and the floater tumbles as well. Dellavedova, double team. Ball down, knocked out of court. And the foul is going to be called on Francisco Cruz. Free throws to come, it would appear.
Really stunned in the Mexicans in the last couple of minutes. Really haven't been pressing full court. It's almost like they're just buying time for this game to run out. You would have expected they were double teaming with about 2 or 3 minutes to go to force Australia's hand, try and create some turnovers and get some easy baskets themselves. Content to go down by a small margin.
Matthew Dellavedova adds to his tally. Only the 2 assists in the game so far. Now with 7 points. Margin is 8. Gutierrez hard coast to coast and off the window comes up with the finish as well. Baynes will be fouled by Hernandez. Well, 6 is the margin. They fouled Baynes. And he's 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And there's urgency now, and they needed it at least 2 minutes ago. Margin at 6, so some added pressure here for Aaron Baynes. Ice cold. In the veins there, no problems at all. And comes up with the goods. 21 equals his high. And that is all. And the Australian Boomers, for the first time in 16 years, have won 3 consecutive games at the World Cup. It's an 8-point win over Mexico. The Boomers 70 have defeated Mexico 62.
Yep, impressive there for the Boomers. 3 on the trot, but wow, Phil Smyth, Tommy Greer got a bit nail-biting towards the end. Their pivotal third quarter, as you heard here first by our oracle, Phil Smyth. It was absolutely immense. Ryan Broekhoff found his range and banged in 4 from the perimeter. Nathan Jawai was immense. Fourth quarter, gee guys, what happened there? 2 easy buckets for Mexico. Aggression was gone.
Yeah, look, I reckon they lost their rhythm. I mean, we talked about the third quarter. They doubled the score there, 26-13 in that third quarter, so they get a little bit of breathing space, but then they lost their rhythm. But when you have a game like that, you can say, well, Australia didn't score well, so you rely on your defence to win you the game. And at different times there were breakdown, but I mean, they were able to stop them and keep them in the 60-point range, which was enough. It was just one of those spluttering quarters. I mean, we saw it in the first 2. Australia had a really good third quarter, then went back to splutter again.
Well, it just got really messy, and Tommy...
It's a really good term, messy. No, that's what it was, messy.
I'll pick up my coaching badge later. Okay. Joe Ingles just not in it, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, that for me, that's an impressive thing for the Boomers. If Joe Ingles can have a game like he had tonight, and there was obviously a focus of Mexico come out and make sure that if they're going to get beaten, it's not going to be by Joe. And so, I mean, for the Boomers to manage to score enough points to still get across the line and win, I think that's a really good sign for them going forward.
I mean, you'd expect the stats in a game like that to be pretty close, 62-70, and they pretty much were. The rebounding, the shooting percentage, they're all fairly similar. Just Australia just had that edge in a couple of years. Thank goodness for Aaron Baynes again. You know,
well, indeed, I was actually going to ask you about him, Phil, because his value just continues to rise at this tournament.
Well, I spoke to him in August in the pre-cam and said, you're going to sign with San Antonio. He said, look, he leaves that stuff to his agent. He's just focusing on playing for Australia. His value is going through the roof right now. If San Antonio don't get him on paper, someone's definitely going to.
He's got to be loving that. How about David Anderson, Tommy? He perhaps didn't have his best game of this tournament either.
No, he didn't, but he was effective early. He had a couple of jump shots early, which sort of got the ball rolling for the Aussies. It plays into the same thing I was saying about Ingles, though. If our main sort of threats can struggle in a game like they did today, and we can still score enough to get across the line, that's a positive.
It's funny how you focus on them, though, because Joel came in and did a really good job. Yeah. Gibson came in again, did a really good job. And we talked about that at the start of the show, saying they're getting a lot from their bench players. So your point's valid. If we can win without relying on the same players every game, you're in good shape. And that's why they won the third game, because those players are doing a great job.
And you know what? That's what Lemanis was speaking about before the game. Luke Longley before the game. He said, we're going to beat them with our depth. We're going to get through our rotations. We played last night, and, you know, our depth wear them down.
Well, how about Ryan Broekhoff? Because we were speaking about him while we were watching and saying, wow, he's not hitting anything, And you gentlemen were both saying, playing the American style, he'll just keep putting him up till it goes down.
Well, I was actually saying at half-time, I was calling for my man, Chris Goulding. I'm not going to lie. I was on Twitter and I was like, is it time that we see Chris Goulding get out there and get to throw a few up? But Lemanis had the trust in Broekhoff, and with good reason. He had 4 threes in that third quarter and really led the charge.
And he was like that at college, though. So he was a shooter at college. So we talked about it at half-time. He has no fear. So he doesn't think he's shooting badly. He does enough work to know I'm going to start shooting good. I reckon Andre was giving him one more look.
Yep.
and I reckon if it didn't go, we may have seen your man then. I think you might have seen.
Yeah, sorry, Tommy. Didn't see Bubbles this time. Hopefully we will see him get more minutes before the end of this tournament. Ryan Broekhoff there, though, absolutely hot hands towards the end of the match there. Nathan Jawai also immense, Phil, in that third quarter.
He's been really impressive, hasn't he? He was the one in the third quarter that got him going. I mean, he's just such a physical presence, and he's a great passer. We talked about that before, but he's also a good finisher around the basket, and he does take up a lot of space, you know, and he's intimidating. If you're a player out there and he's coming to screen you, you're nervous about it. He gets down the floor pretty well, finishes this with some power, and that's what he brings. We talked about him being unique to the Australian team in that he has that power, and it's fantastic to see the guys on the bench being so supportive of him.
Yeah, indeed. Great to see Nate having such a good time. Look at that. So very powerful. We said before, he's absolutely unique, isn't he, in this team and in this tournament. No one looks like him.
Yeah, he really does give Australia a different look, though. When he comes in, we sort of slow it down, and I'm not sure if other teams haven't caught on to bring him into that pick-and-roll situation. He hasn't really been exposed there yet. I think maybe later in the tournament that's something we'll have to be wary of when we start playing in big minutes.
I reckon Andre's been pretty smart. I think he knows when he can get him in and when he can get out of that pick-and-roll stuff. And it'd be interesting if they cross over to see Nate with the USA. Because he's physically more intimidating than anything they've got. And that's why he's unique.
I'll tell you what, sitting in the second spot on the table, that meeting with USA is getting ever closer. Let's have a look at this match. Again, gents, 3 on the trot now for the Boomers, and we weren't sure exactly how this match was going to be approached by Mexico, but early foul trouble for Aon meant that the whole complex changed for them initially, Phil.
It did. He's such a pivotal player for them, and of course Baines was he scored the first 8 points, and I think he had 10 of our first 12, so I reckon the Aussies had said, well, let's see if we can go at him and get him into foul trouble. They did that, and conversely Mexico did a really good job on Joe Ingles. I think that they picked him out as the pivotal player and shut him down. Just weren't expecting all the other Aussie guys to step up. And again, I reckon, thank goodness for Aaron Baines. Right now, he has been the pivotal difference in Australia's success.
Tell me, what did you make of the Mexican play? Gee, they're a passionate lot, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they played exactly the way we thought they would. They came out and they were really trying to disrupt things by being physical. There's a lot of grabbing and pushing down low on the post. I thought something that was really impressive was the Aussies' ability to just play through that. You know, they just dealt with all the pushing, all the grabbing and scratching and stuff, and just worked their way through it, and I thought that was really good.
I reckon Adam Gibson did a really good job too. He came in early, he played more minutes than he's played in the other games, and did a really good job. I think he was a big contributor in that game in putting pressure up the floor on Mexico, staying between his man and the basket and just taking valuable time off the clock. Great pass there by Brock, great finish by Baines.
Yep, great work from Adam Gibson. As you said, we saw a little bit of Dante Exum. Do you think he was worth more minutes, Tommy?
Look, I mean, well, we got the win, so you know it's hard to complain when you get the win.
I love that hindsight coaching.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious at this point that Gibson is now the backup point guard to Delhi. I think that Lamanis is really enjoying the defence that Gibson's bringing and the control. He comes in, he's so poised, and he's not trying to play above himself. He's just doing what he does well. And I think that's the reason why he's going.
Look, you know, when you're playing a game, if the point guard looks like he's safe, he looks composed, everyone's really settled. Dante, again, is only 19, and at times, because he's long, he looks awkward, and guys start to get anxious. I reckon you might see Dante start to become the replacement for Joe Ingles. You know, when Joe comes out, you might see Dante get a chance. I mean, he's slipping out of the rotation a little bit, but again, he's 19 years old. Everyone got caught up in him being number 5 draft pick for Utah. Again, just add water, he's a superstar. It's going to take some time.
I agree. I think he looks a lot better when he's out there with another point guard, and it's not solely him in control of getting the ball up the floor, getting the Boomers into their offense. You know, like seeing him out there with Daly or with a Gibson, takes the pressure off a little bit, a little help in the backcourt. I think that would really benefit him.
That was a big finish by Daly there when there was about 3.5 minutes in the game, and Baines blocked a shot, came down, made that layup. That was the play that gave Australia just that little bit of breathing space. That says it all right there.
Dagger in the hearts for the Mexican fans.
Are there enough coaches in the stands? Steady, steady, steady. Oh, hi, caramba.
And just the poise of the Australians late, you know, like Shane was saying on the commentary that... you know, we had a few opportunities down the stretch that we could have, you know, sort of pushed the tempo a little bit. We were up by 6 or 8 at that point. I was really impressed that Daly had the poise to slow it down, go to what you know our focuses are, get it back into Baines.
Waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so guys, that's 3 on the trot. We're 3 wins, 1 loss.
rolling.
How are we looking at the rest of this group stage?
Look, would it be nice if they finished number 1?
Well,
You know,
that's
that
something
would
that we
be,
didn't talk a lot about.
Yep.
We talked about avoiding 2 and 4. It's a possibility that last match between Lithuania and Slovenia becomes very, very important.
It is. I mean, it really is a possibility. I'm a little worried Lithuania go into that game and they just throw the towel in. You know, they play
to
the
tanking
bench.
again.
Yeah, I don't know. Like call me a cynic, but I think that it's a distinct possibility. And, these European teams, they play tournament strategy.
All right, well, let's find out what's happening around the rest of the groups. Here we go, guys. These are the matches today for Group A. Anything there that fascinates you? Spain, France should be an absolute cracker, Phil.
That will be a beauty. I reckon the Serbia-Brazil one will be a good one too, but I'm very interested to see where Spain and France finish up. I predict Spain to win it, but we'll get a real good idea of where France are at in this Cup.
Yeah, well, Group B, here we've got Philippines, Puerto Rico, who potentially look like they might be out of it anyway, because I think they're in those last 2 spots, as we'll see in a minute. But Puerto Rico actually won that one 77-73. That match has just completed, so a very tight match there between those 2 sides. In Group C, New Zealand 2 up against Ukraine, and Ukraine are doing well in their debut tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got to say I'm barracking for New Zealand there. I wouldn't mind seeing them just get the win. They've worked so hard. These first couple of games have been unlucky, so I wouldn't mind seeing them get up.
Absolutely. Group D, there's our group, Phil, and as we said, we're doing rather well.
We are doing really well at the moment. We've got our chest out, a little bit of swagger. What we're doing well at is when we're not playing great offensively, we're still able to contain teams. I mean, it's not the best defence we'll see in the Cup, but we're doing pretty well.
All right, let's have a look at those tables I was mentioning earlier. Spain on top, your favourite, Phil, and France, Serbia, Brazil. We think it's going to stay like that.
Yep, I agree. I can't see a change.
All right, Group B. Tommy, what do you think of these standings? Yes, I was right. Philippines and Puerto Rico on the bottom. Also likely to remain in that order?
Pretty similar. You might see a little switch right at the top with Argentina and Greece, but I think they're the 4 that are going to progress through.
Indeed. Let's have a look at Group C, and this is the one that we'll cross over with when we come out of this group phase. USA probably going to remain on top, and they play Dominican Republic tomorrow morning, and Ukraine, of course, is USA's last match, so that could be quite interesting, gents. Group D, Australia's group. I think we are probably going to see an order change, Phil, but those top 4 teams likely to stay.
I think those 4 teams will stay the same. It's just a question of what the order's going to be.
We're going to finish top.
That'd be great if we finished top.
Now, don't forget, you can get an original, unique and entertaining World Cup analysis on Double Dribble every night at 8:20 on ABC2. That's with Dave Thornton and Ronnie Cheng. Well, guys, our next match for the Boomers, Angola is the last one. Afrobasket winners. Phil, are you expecting that to be a completely different complexion of game again?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty free-flowing. It'll be up-tempo, but I think the advantage again is with Australia. They've been able to rotate. They're going to be fresh, I suspect. And as I said earlier, the longer the Cup goes, Angola start to drop off the pace. I think Australia will be okay in that game.
Yeah, look, the athleticism of Angola is going to be an issue, and I think we've just got to structure them to death. We've got to make sure we really execute our systems, be really solid on defence, try and contain rather than gamble going for steals. We should be good.
Don't underestimate them.
Well, we will find out, guys. That match is Thursday night. It'll be 9:25 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be Australia-Angola. That will be the last group match. But don't forget that while we've got that one coming up for you, we've got another one first. Dominican Republic will take on the USA. That is the Group C match from Bilbao, 5:25 a.m. Eastern on ABC. Very quickly, what are you expecting?
Oh, USA comfortably. You'd love me to have said Dominican Republic or massacre.
I'm waiting to turn it up, Phil. I'm waiting for you to really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
It'll be a pivotal third quarter in that game too.
It will be. Tommy Greer, Phil Smythe, thank you very much for your time this evening. I'm going to let you get about 4.5 hours sleep, and you can join me back here for that one in the morning. To all of you, thanks for your company now, and we'll see you very soon.
Hi, I'm Dave Thornton and he's Ronnie Chang and we're the hosts of Double Dribble, so join us on ABC2. Mate, can you just stop that?
There's going to be a lot of this at the Basketball World Cup, you know.
Yeah, OK, but it's not all up on my grill, is it?
I've already beaten you mentally.
Sure, that's Double Dribble every night on ABC2.
I'm the winner!
Double Dribble every night, 8:20 on ABC2.
This is my dad. He's relaxing because he works so hard. Well, that's not always what Mummy says. This Father's Day, I'm going to spoil him with something from the ABC shop. A Doctor Who Ice Cube tray or board game, one of his favourite TV shows on DVD, or a big book with lots of words and pictures, maybe even a CD, as long as he promises not to dance. Father's Day is as easy as ABC.
Who is the ultimate doctor?
Every doctor that comes along is going to be unique.
Go behind the scenes to discover what makes the new Time Lord tick.
This doctor is a little less user-friendly.
Doctor Who, the ultimate Time Lord, Sunday at 8:30.
It's the 3rd of September and I'm Tom Glass and welcome to The Roast. Tonight, the mining tax has been repealed, so that is some great news for miners.
I'm a miner.
A coal miner?
No, I'm a child. I'm 12.
You're a hard 12. But look, the school kids bonus is under threat as well. Yeah, but don't worry, your superannuation is going to be much lower now. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I thought that would be reassuring. Tell you what, give me the opening titles to come up with something nice to say. It's going to be fine. Low-income earners are going to have their super co-contributions cut as well, so... No, well, the mining tax has been repealed and a superannuation rise is delayed. As a barely employed itinerant labourer, I need to work out my finances. First, though, Mark Humphries has the headlines. Finances are looking bad.
Jackie Lambie, the Palmer United senator who puts the mania in Tasmania, has taken part in the Ice Bucket Challenge. Well, I promised myself I wouldn't watch any more Ice Bucket Challenge videos, and I won't, but you can watch it. Did you get all wet? Yeah, I thought so. Good on you, Jackie. I nominate you for another challenge. It's the Make It Through 6 years of being a senator without completely stuffing up challenge. Clive Palmer was also there to witness the challenge, but he walked out shortly before the live broadcast when he noticed a second ice bucket he thought might be intended for himself.
He flew into a rage, tipped the bucket out, slightly wetting a producer, then uttered a few words unsuitable for broadcast and stormed off.
Words unsuitable for broadcast? That doesn't sound like our Clive.
The Chinese bastards, these Chinese mongrels. Wendy Dung is a Chinese spy.
Coles, the supermarket that would kill Woolworths with its own giant red hands if it had the chance, is reportedly cutting 600 jobs. I'll tell you what's down. Employee morale. Coles will reportedly make the redundancies as part of a bid to free up funds to help reduce food and liquor prices. So, to anyone forced to leave their job at Coles, I know a cheap place you can go to drown your sorrows. Coles! The Great Barrier Reef, the place God created on the 6th day when he took hallucinogens, may no longer be considered as a dumping ground for dredge spoil, as the government considers a new dredging proposal. So it's a good day for this guy. Under the new proposal, the dredge spoil would be dumped on land. So it's bad news for this guy.
Here come those tears again.
It's still not a done deal, though. Environment Minister Greg Hunt, seen here shooting the cover of his album Hunting for Love, says the government is still considering the new option.
There is an emerging option which I have said we would welcome and we would consider on its merits against the law, and there is a very real chance that this might come forward.
A very real chance. Sorry, bud.
What have I become?
And finally, Palmer United Senator Glenn Lazarus has delivered his maiden speech to Parliament. There was some inspiring stuff.
And if you work hard, you can achieve anything.
And if we know anything about the Palmer United Party, it's that they work hard. When asked how he thought he did in his first speech in Parliament, the former NRL great said he gave it 110% and his boys left it all out there on the field, and at the end of the day, they were beaten by the better speech. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
Thank you, Mark. And officials have confirmed there was no need to test Glenn Lazarus for performance-enhancing drugs after the speech because it was obvious he had not taken any. And staying in the House where the carpet matches the seats, the Senate yesterday voted to abolish the mining tax after the government got the Palmer United Party on side by agreeing to delay the abolition of the school kids bonus and defer increases to superannuation. So here is hoping that those kids invest their bonus wisely, because we're all going to need them to fund our retirement in a few years' time. The crossbenchers celebrated saving the school kids bonus, and Ricky Muir was so excited he actually called his wife to tell her the good news. And actually that reminds me, I should call my wife and tell her as well. Sorry, just one second. Hi, honey. Yep, tell the kids to stop painting those tissue boxes black. They are getting real school shoes this term. Yeah, the school kids bonus is sticking around. Well, actually just until December 2016, but at least we can afford better shoe paint for a while. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye. Of course, yesterday everyone was relieved to see Joe Hockey relaxed for once and not sweating through his fourth suit of the day. Not as relaxed, though, as Peter Dutton. If it's true you dress for the job you want, I'm guessing Dutton wants to be king of his blankie fort. Honestly, the House of Representatives is not a place for your Jim Jams, Dutton. Nor, some would argue, is it a place for a mining magnate to be allowed to vote down a tax on mining. But don't worry, Clive Palmer explained why that was not in any way a conflict of interest.
We don't see it that way. First of all, I don't pay the mining tax, you know. BHP doesn't pay the mining tax. Rio Tinto don't pay the mining tax.
He doesn't pay the tax? What kind of a moron in the Labor Party wrote a mining tax where the biggest mining companies don't pay it?
It was actually devised by 3 of the major mining companies.
Oh, good. Any other massive corporations want in on rewriting government policy? Oh, you already are. Oh, that's terrific. So with the mining tax gone, the overall compromise adds $10 billion to the budget bottom line over the next 4 years. Or in layman's terms, what? Jazz Twemlow joins me now. Jazz, can you explain how cutting a tax saves the government money?
Well, by scrapping the mining tax and not having that money, the government now can't spend it on child people and grubby leaners. Hypothetical non-money saved. Ka-ching, hypothetically.
Right, so it's actually just a case of the government saying that not spending money because you don't have any is a form of saving.
Yes, and by that logic, homeless people are saving hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Think about it. If you weren't homeless, you could suffer the financial burden of being Brad Pitt, earning shitloads of cash and then being forced to funnel that money into things like fancy weddings and your giant loving family. By not being Brad Pitt, each of us is avoiding a huge amount of spending. And for that, we should be thankful?
I don't know. Should we?
He does seem to enjoy being him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks